So, welcome to University West Accommodation webinar, part of our pre-arrival webinar series. I am Madeline. I work with the Accommodation Office. I work directly underneath the International Office and mainly incoming program students. So, not so much with exchange. So, if you do have any questions about your exchange or learning agreements, if you are an exchange student, I recommend you email us at international@hv.se. We'll share the contact information at the end. So, a few things you probably have heard about the Goan app, but if you have not, this is a great way for you to connect with your current classmates and or your new classmates and current students that are here. So you can just scan the QR code on the bottom just to get included in the chat. And yeah, this is a great way to ask questions or get to know the city you'll be moving to. Also, if you want to become a digital ambassador, this is with a study in Sweden. You may have heard of them if you follow study in Sweden on Swedish universities. They are hiring digital ambassadors. You can just go to the QR code. This is mainly for program students so unfortunately, exchange students, I don't know if you have the possibility to join, but you can just look at the requirements. This is for students that are studying for at least a year. So, yeah. And you do get financially compensated for this too. It's not that much, but you get to go to 3 meetups a year, I think. And you can go to Stockholm or other places in Sweden as well, I think. So this is a good opportunity if you want to get more involved in Swedish life. So yes, today what you all came here for, accommodation. So I will just be guiding you through the different sections. So we'll talk about what to expect before you arrive and what the timeline looks there, and also when you come here and how to get your keys and housing information. And for students that need a residence permit, this is for only for students outside of the EU who need a permit to study in Sweden. We can talk a little bit about that, but we'll talk more in depth about residence permits later on in the summer as well. But since you have already most likely applied for a residence permit, you might not have that many questions regarding. But yeah, so before arrival. So, we have sent the accommodation application out already to all of you. If you have not, if you have not seen it or received it, you can email us at our accommodation email, um, accommodation@hv.se. And the deadline to apply for that is June 2nd. This is mainly for students who are not living in Sweden already or who do not have a personal number. And a personal number, you probably have heard of it if you're trying to log on to your student account. That is your T number. So it's your birth date, so year, month, and date. And then there's a dash and then T and 3 digits. And you can find that on your notification selection results. If you're an exchange student, you will get that sent to you directly. So you'll get that closer to the time you're coming here. But you don't need it exactly right now as an exchange student. So, if you are already living in Sweden, we do not place you in accommodation. We recommend that you go directly to the landlords. ADAR places, ADAR has a housing guarantee for all students, so you can just uh, log onto their housing queue, which is very quick. Students usually get an apartment through that within 2 weeks, so you're fine there. If you need a residence permit to come into Sweden, we will only place you in accommodation once you have received your residence permit card. I can repeat that. We can only place you in an apartment once you have received your residence card, not just your decision. There's a little difference there. A decision says, yes, you can come here. A residence permit card gives you the access to actually come here. So you need to show us or email accommodation at hv.se with a picture of your permit card. And this is only for non-EU students. So if you need housing for your families, you can also email us at accommodation@hv.se and we can send you resources to connect with the landlords. Unfortunately, we do not have the resources at the university to house families, so we just recommend you contact the landlords since they can place you. And if you're wondering when your accommodation will start, it will start on August 25th, and we will be at the accommodation table at the university between 10 and 8 in the evening, and on the 26th from 10 to 4. And during that week, we will also have introductory materials. So we will be on campus throughout the whole week. So you can just pick up your keys at the university, and we have a table that will have signs too. And it's a smaller campus, so it won't be too hard to locate us. Yeah. So also before arrival, we will start placing students mid-June and then through August, but there will be no placements in July. So if you don't receive an offer in July, no worries. We will place you in August. And your offer letter, you will receive it from accommodation at hv.se. And this will detail the rent, the period that you will be having the apartments from, and what the apartment includes, furnished and internet, electricity, things like that. So you will have, if you don't respond to this offer letter in 48 hours, you will lose your space and be put on the wait list. And also, if you decline the offer, you will lose your accommodation place as well. And we can put you on a wait list, but that does not guarantee that you will get housing with us. And the placement, so you do not apply for a certain apartment. You just apply in general to us and you will be placed randomly. You can also put a preference in where you want to live in your application, but we cannot guarantee that we'll place you where you exactly want to be. We try to match it as best as we can, but of course, we have limited places that we can put students, so we don't have the flexibility to place you wherever you want. And so after you get your offer letter and you accept it, you will get a contract via email in August. So the landlords will contact you directly with the contracts, and that will happen at the beginning of August. Yep. So June 2nd is the last day to apply for accommodation with the university, and you have received the application in your email. And if you can't find the application, you can email us for it because it's still open. So if you want to know more about what we offer, you can go through the QR code here, but I will show you how to find as well. So where our accommodation information is. So once you connect to the QR code, you will be coming to a site like this. And so then you want to go down to what we offer because that will detail where to find the accommodation. And so then also next to it, we have step-by-step process on timelines and when to expect your offer letter and when to arrive. And then the third part will have accommodation rules. So for under what we offer, we talk about responsibilities of the international office, eligibility for housing, prioritization of housing the international office prioritizes students first, and then if we have apartments, we can place PhD candidates and guest researchers. And then third, if you go through accommodation options, we work with two landlords, and if you click on ADAR, you'll see the ADAR apartments that we offer, and then if you click on Hummer Nordic accommodation, you will see the Hummer Nordic apartments we offer. And so this is a brief overview of the apartments we offer. So all the apartments that the university offers include or furnished. So it includes a bed, table, cooking equipment, um, chair, and cutlery. And all the accommodation has a communal laundry room, which is available by booking. And these are the housing options, Lot Monavegan, 38 Lovingen, Pardetreskon, Lasarettsvägen, 3 and 5 on-campus housing, and Elefanton. So there's a bit of a change since one of the apartments we do not offer anymore. There are our Jernvegsgatan apartments. You may have seen that on the website. We're going to update that shortly. This was just a current change that has, or recent change that has happened. So we had to switch out. So instead of Jernvegsgatan apartments, we have on-campus housing, and that's corridor style, which means it's dorms. So um, there's four floors and there's 35 rooms. And each room you have your own bed, table, wardrobe, and chair, but you share bathrooms and kitchen with the people on your floor. Yep. And the rent can be up to 8,000 crowns a month, but that depends on the location. If you want to be very central and if you want a bigger apartment, um, most of our accommodation falls between 5,000 to 6,000 crowns, and housing company will confirm with you via contract, and also on our offer, we will let you know how much the apartment will be. So you have the option to decline or no, or decline or accept it. And so all of our accommodations are easily accessible by bike and or bus. So yeah, these are some photos of the accommodations that we have too. And to be even more specific, so this is what our on-campus housing includes. So this is called A House. It's the address is Drottninggatan 38A, and your room will be from 10 to 15 square meters, and then the rent is 3,700 to 4,900. So yes. And with these, you will need to get your own router, but you will need to connect to the internet there with your router if you want Wi-Fi. Yes. So you also need to get a network cable. Yep. And then our Elefanten apartments, we don't have as many of these since we share these with ADAR. So we only have reserved 4 apartments. So the studio apartments can go from 5,100 to 6,300 crowns. And the size is between 20.1 and 25.9 square meters. And distance is very close as well. It's like a 5-minute walk to campus. So yeah, and you have indoor bicycle storage in a separate building and laundry as well there. But again, you would need a router. And our Huerta de Trascon apartments. So those are 2 kilometers away, and the rent is around 5,956 square per month, and it is almost 30 square meters. And it is fully furnished again, and these are unshared apartments, and it's in like nature as well. It's this is only housed for students, so you would be with your classmates as well, so you wouldn't be alone out here. But yeah. And then our Lant Monavegan 38 apartments. So and the type of accommodation, again, private studio apartments, and we have around 15 um, apartments there. And it is around 26 to 38 square meters, fully furnished. It's 3 kilometers away, and the uh, rent is from 3,900 to 5,700 crowns per month. but it could be up to 5,700. And each year, I want to say, just to add on, for all the apartments, the rent will go up a little bit by a percentage. The percentage does change, so you will have to be in close contact with the landlord about how much they'll raise it. And then the Blovingen apartments. Sorry for the blurry photo. Um, so the distance to University West, it's 3 kilometers, and address is Lottmannavegen 100. A number of room studio apartments, 14 one-bedroom apartments, um, 61 shared apartments. But we mainly focus on the 14 one-bedroom apartments. The 61 shared apartments are for other tenants, not just students. Um, and it can be from 4,500 to 6,600 crowns per month. And with these apartments, you have a kitchenette in your apartment, but then you have a communal kitchen on each floor as well. But you have your own bathroom. So, yep. And so then with our Hammer Nordic apartments, so we only have one apartment building with them, and it's Lasarettsvägen 3 and 5, and it's only 1 kilometer away from campus. And we have a mixture of unshared and shared apartment sizes. So shared apartment would be a shared bedroom. So you would not just be sharing the same apartment with somebody, you would be sharing the same bedroom with separate beds, of course. We usually place people who know each other in these apartments and they request to be together. So you would be sharing the rent as well. So for an unshared studio, it would be around 5,800 crowns per month. And for a shared bedroom, it would be 6,700. So we only have 8 shared bedrooms because they're big enough to house 2 students and 77 unshared studio apartments. And with these apartments as well, some of them are already occupied by current students. So uh, the amount is so if you want to share a shared bedroom, it might not be available. So the rents you would if you did have a shared bedroom, you would be splitting 6,700, so that would be around 3,350 crowns per month per person. And with this apartment, you don't need to bring your own router. It's already included, or and a laundry room is available in the building for booking. So yes, so for pickup information, so you can pick up your keys from our accommodation booth near the service center starting August 25th. Please look at your contract begins, and that is when you can pick up your keys. I know some people want to pick them up earlier and they say, but we'll move in on this day. Unfortunately, we will not have the keys earlier. We will only have them on the date that you're moving in. So that's when you can. And on the 25th, you can pick up your keys from 10 to 8 at the university. And then throughout the rest of the week, you can pick them up from 10 to 4. Yes. And termination period. So this is not going to be a year lease or anything like that. It's month by month, but you have to if you want to terminate your contract, you have to do it 3 months before, 3 months in advance. So a 3 month period. So not just weeks. So if I want to terminate my contract now, so we are in May, you would end it in June, July, end of August. Yeah. So end of August, your contract would end. For exchange students, you do have a set uh, contract date, so you don't have to terminate with us unless you need to leave earlier, but you would have to know quite soon. So we would set it from August 25th to January 9th or something like that. And so for contact, you can just email us at accommodation@hv.se if you have international student questions. You can email us at international@hv.se. Yes. And question time. You can just write your questions in the uh, chat and then I can answer them. Yes. Yes. So the first question is to clarify, all the accommodations through the university are furnished or just most. All the accommodation through the university is furnished. So if you get an offer from the university, it will be furnished. The next question is, what about family accommodation? Unfortunately, the university does not have the resources to place families, so you can just email us and we can send you contact details to landlords in Tarleton that you can reach out to. And then another question, is it possible to pick up the key from you on the afternoon, Saturday, August 30th? Yes. So another thing I forgot to mention is if you come outside our office hours, we recommend that you email us at accommodation@hv.se 2 workdays in advance, saying when you will be arriving to Charlottetown, and we can connect you with a student ambassador who can give you your key. Yes. And the next question is the link for the application in the email with the accommodation information? Yes, it is. If you can't find it, you can just email us again for it and we can send you the application. On the accommodation application, can we select the apartment we want? You can write it at the end. There's a preference section where you can say, oh, I would like to live in this if it's possible. We can't guarantee that we can put you in that apartment, but we can try our best. If we already filled out the application but want to adjust the preferences after the webinar, what should we do? Fill it out again? Yeah, you can fill it out again. We always take your most recent application you send in. Could you please use the email ID for family accommodation? Um, yes, so I can, if you just email, I can just send you a reply to you on this. Just send to accommodation@hv.se and we can send you the information for family accommodation. Um, is it possible to join the introduction days a little bit later due to an exam at my home university? Yes, it is. If you could also email us to let us know when you're arriving because it's good to know that you're here. Just and we also will record all of our introduction speakers and put it on our website after if you have missed anything as well. So another question. I have a personal number but don't live in Sweden. I have signed up with ADAR for the last 30 days, but there's nothing so far. When does apartments normally come available? What is the other company I can apply? Yeah, so what you can do is you can actually contact, I can just put the email. You can contact ADAR directly just to ask them when apartments will become available. I have a feeling they'll be coming available in July or beginning of August. And then you can apply for them, but I recommend that you ask them as well. And if you want to get student accommodation with another company, a Hammer Nordic, so I can write it down and yeah, and I have sent you also Hammer Nordic's email. Yep. Any other questions? Yes. Hi, when do we need to pay the rent? can we pay any time before the start of the semester, or is there a specific date we are expected to do so? Also, we are paying the deposit with the first rent. So there's no deposit, first of all. You always want to pay before the start of the month. So if you're coming the 25th, you will get your invoice close to the 25th. So you will be applying, or you will be just paying from August 25th to the end of August, and then also September's month. So you'll be paying two invoices at the same time. Um, but ADAR and Hammer Nordic will let you know the payment instructions. And that's okay if you pay a little late as well. We don't recommend it as much, but Hammer Nordic and ADAR understand that since you're moving from a different country, it might take a little bit of time to get the money through because of wire transfers. So just be in communication with the landlords, I recommend. Yeah. Um, so where can I find my personal number? So if you are if you applied through university admissions, so if you're a program student, you can find it on university admissions under your information. So it should be there. Yes. Next question. Can you clarify the personal number information you said at the beginning? Do I already have one if I'm a non-EU student and have been living in Sweden? Is this the number that on my offer letter somewhere? So, yes. So a personal number, so you would have a University West personal number. It's not like a Swedish personal number, which works with a bunch of government agencies. The University West personal number you get when you get accepted through university admissions, and it should be on your portal. Um, this is for all students, not just non-EU students. This is for all students that are coming to Sweden, outside of Sweden. They have a T number, I would say. And it's not on your, if you are a fee-paying student, it should also be on your invoice and also on your Ladok, which is where you can register for your courses. But I would say start with your university admissions portal and it will be right there under your information. Yes. Is there household linen and accommodations, or do we have to rent by them somewhere? So you actually get a pillow and blanket if you have if you get an offer through University West. We provide pillows and blankets. But that's not sheets or covering your blanket, I would say. So there is uh, a shop in town called Orleans. I can write that in. It's just going to open this summer, but also there is a shopping center like a 10-minute bus ride or 8 to 10 minute bus ride away, which has cheaper so cheaper than Orleans. So it has like basic bedding or like just basic household stuff as well that you can go to. And we can also let you know when you get here so we don't give you too much information at once. And in that shopping center is called Overby. I'll write that in. Yes. Is it possible to specify more than one preference in the combination application, specifying the order? Yeah, you can. So we left that part of the application open so you can write as much as you want, and the order of preference if you'd like. So go right ahead. So, okay. So the Swedish personal number is different from the University West personal number in Ladok. What do you do with the different numbers? So you don't get a Swedish personal number when you come here, or before you come here. You only get it if you are, and we can talk about this later in another webinar, so it doesn't, or talk more about this later. But pretty much, you can apply for a Swedish personal number when you get here if you're studying for at least a year in Sweden. University West personal number is in Ladok and also on your University West admissions or University admissions portal. So you can find it in Ladok or University admissions, your school personal number. And so with your school personal number, that's like your student ID. So that's how we can identify you within the school. With the Swedish personal number, that's how the government can identify you. So, yeah. Next question, is it possible to update the accommodation form if you had submitted it before? Yes, you can write an update if you want, and we always take the most recent application of yours. Any questions? These are really good questions. But yeah, write in the chat where you all are coming from. I'm curious to see who's here. Germany, Canada. Oh, that's awesome. Germany, Germany. Oh, a lot of Germans. Oh, Colorado. Really cool. India, Switzerland, Czech Republic, Ghana, Belgium, Croatia, Milan. Oh, wow. So we have everybody. Sri Lanka, Spain, Egypt, Nigeria. Wow, Italy. So we have this is really cool that we get a bunch of different people. So, next question. If you receive full lump sum amount in your amount that you intend to use for your proof of payment, does that raise a concern in the residence application process? I'm trying to understand what you're trying to say here. Um, okay, yeah. So that might you might have to talk with migration agency about that because it depends because sometimes when people do that, they're just trying to show proof of maintenance requirement, and then sometimes they send it back to where they originally got it just to show. So you you might have to talk with the migration agency. I can't give you advice on that. So they just need to know that that money is going to stick with you. As long as you're also in control of your own bank account when you provide proof, then you should be fine. Okay. Oh, Bangladesh, Kenya, and Pakistan. Really cool. Okay. If we want to be with someone in particular, can we ask for it? From France by, oh, perfect. French. Yes, you can write in the preferences section that you want to live with somebody, and you can write their name. And hopefully they write your name back because we usually only place people together if they write each other because we don't want to, yeah. Or we just also ask if it's fine. And then another question, some services are asking for a Swedish bank account or bank statement. What would international students do in this case? So if you're talking about landlords, then you might need, I recommend just going towards ADAR because they don't just look in a Swedish bank account or bank statement. I don't know what kind of services because we haven't run into that as much, but it might be with landlords. But you can also get a Swedish bank account here if once you get a personal number. So next question, I have filled the accommodation form in these two companies. For family accommodation, ADAR is issued a queue number. It's a queue number. When am I going to get booked accommodation? Yes. So I don't work with ADAR with their other queues or their non-student housing queues specifically. So I recommend you contact, I can write their email again to see what the procedure and how long you have to wait, but that's really good that you got on their queue. They probably will ask you if you have a residence permit card in Sweden as well, and it's good that you contact them about family accommodation. Do all students typically find some kind of accommodation before the school starts? Yes. So again, we do have a housing guarantee um in Sweden. So or not Sweden, in Trollhättan, so the city that we're in. So all students that are coming for student accommodation should get housing, will get housing. It might not be the housing you want, but it's something. And what I always say to students, if you come here and you don't like the accommodation, it's easier to find accommodation when you already have one here. So, yes. Any other question? Oh, does the application form sent by mail suffice for accommodation? I got confused about contacting ADAR or other company. Is that for additional requests like family? So the application form that you sent to us is only for, or the application form that you filled out, that we sent to you, that's for the university. For family accommodation, we recommend you apply elsewhere with ADAR or Hammer Nordic. Any questions? What programs are you all studying? You can write it in the chat as well. I'm curious to see if we have more engineers or more social science. Whoop, yeah. Yes. Do we get the recording of this session? Yes, I will be sending out an email with the recording at the end of the week, and also the schedule of the other pre-arrival webinars. Leadership in digital organizations, Master of Sustainable Development, AI and Automation. Yes, IT, Sustainable Development. Amazing. Really cool. So we have people from different departments. That's awesome. Yes. Great. Awesome. Well, I can be here for 5 more minutes in case anybody has questions. Um, but other than that, I'm gonna end the recording now. Oh, good for being helpful. Um, but yeah, and you don't have, and we'll have more webinars this summer. So if you forget to answer a question now, you can answer it later, or I can answer it later. And thank you all for joining. It was great talking to you all. Hopefully I can see you in person soon, but I will be here.